Aye.
Aye. Okay, we have our president. Then I need approval of the revised agenda.
Your Honor, I believe we have to do roll call first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Counselor Azadi. Here. Hanson.
Here.
Hickerson.
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
Malonis.
Here.
Bingham.
Here.
Pedri.
Here.
Demas.
Here.
Mayor Mickelson.
Okay, now we need approval of the revised agenda.
I move to approve, Your Honor.
Thank you, Zadi.
Second.
Thank you, Bingham. Okay. That'll bring us to our consent agenda.
We still
Oh,
have
all
to.
in favor?
Aye.
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 Sorry. Okay, now that brings us to our consent agenda. We have approval of the minutes of City Council meeting minutes of June 3rd, 2025, and special City Council meeting minutes of June 10th, 2025. We have appointments of Sweetwater County Joint Travel and Tourism Board, Lisa Carrillo, first term. Urban Renewal Agency Commission, Nicole Hartford, unexpired term. We have officers and staff report, health insurance fund recap, May 2025. We have financial report summary, April 2025. We have council committee and board report, Rock Springs Historical Museum Board meeting minutes of April 12th, 2025. We have Special Purpose Tax Joint Power Board meeting minutes of April 12th, 2025. Could I get a motion, please?
So moved, Your Honor.
Okay, could I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, that'll bring us to petitions, if there's anyone in the council that would like to address us.
And on July 12th, I want to put together a prayer walk for Rock Springs to take the diversity that's been going on and get rid of it and have everybody, walk down Old Town praying, singing, worshiping, just talking about love and respect and about our Creator. And instead of talking about politics and separating each other, enough with the hatred. We've got to do something. And the only way we're going to do it is by putting God ahead of everything. And so with your guys' permission and a couple of police to help us with this, because we're going to have hopefully a good turnout, just to help us keep security so we don't have anybody getting hurt, because the last prayer walk I saw, they were attacked. And I don't want that to happen.
What is your feelings, Chief Erspamer?
Your Honor, I have no issue with that. I'm sure we can find either community service officer or police officer to staff that.
Okay,
That would be awesome.
Your Honor, let's have some questions.
Okay.
too. I think there's a permitting process you need to go through. Is that a form to fill out for? Or what do you, I guess, maybe to start at, what are you needing from us other than maybe security, police presence? Are you looking to shut down streets?
No, we're not
transportation,
looking to shut
anything,
down
or-
any streets. We're going to be
Okay.
walking on the sidewalks.
Just a sidewalk?
Yeah, we're going to be, doing everything lawfully. It's just when I called, because I've never done this before. And so I called the city, and the lady that I spoke to said that I had to come here and get it approved through you guys so we could do the prayer walk, because we are going to be walking up and down from, I guess it's Bunning. We're going to walk all the way across from Elk over to the starting of Dewar, and then back around, walking through the street, or not the street, but the sidewalks, but it's going to be loud. We're going to have speakers, people praying, people singing, people just showing love and respect.
Sure.
And she told me that I didn't need to get a permit or anything. I just needed to get it approved.
Okay. So I guess, is that something we would need to approve on the, when are you looking? to
July
do-
12th.
July 12th?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of churches, and they said that if I get it approved through here, that they will actually join and they'll have their congregations join and get this started, because I'm going to start making flyers here in about a week. I've got the lady from the newspaper that's going to run an article about it too.
Probably Trina.
So we're pretty excited to get this done and actually show some love and compassion instead of.
I'm sorry, I'm not unfamiliar with what is actually needed as far as permitting, so I'm going to defer to department heads if we could.
Your Honor, Counselor Zadi, I think, it might be in the best interests, and maybe Chief Earthbomber would agree, I don't know, but a map of the route might be helpful with maybe something in writing submitted to the office just so we can assist if something comes up. But there really is no permit without, that, to my knowledge, without, shutting down streets or no alcohol served or anything, so.
So I don't know that there'd be a need for a vote from council, would there? I don't know that there would be, other than just a request for just, I guess, regular patrol to,
Yeah, that'd work. I mean,
Make
just to keep
sure,
these guys safe, or just to keep everybody safe, and make sure that nobody gets hurt for, preaching the word of God or anything. I just don't want to see anybody get hurt.
I guess the reason I asked too on the permitting, because it might interfere with your plans on getting things printed and ready to go, because we wouldn't have another meeting for council until the first week.
Yeah, see, and this
Tuesday
is
in
what I
July,
was told, is that I just needed to get approved through the city council.
Yeah, and I don't
And that's
know.
why I came down here tonight, to find out if we can get the go-ahead to go ahead and let people know that we're going to do the prayer walk, and we're going to be, doing the things that we've got to do as a community to bring everybody together instead of separating.
Your Honor, if you leave your contact information, if there's anything I'm not thinking of that staff reminds me of,
Yeah.
we can reach out.
Yeah, I can do that. Do you want me to just come over there and write it down for you?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay,
guys.
I have one more
Yes,
question.
ma'am.
Where's it starting and where's it
Bunning.
ending?
And
Oh,
it's going to
starting
end.
at,
And it's going to end at Bunning.
oh, so you're making,
You were just going to make a couple of loops and
okay.
come back.
Just so everybody's aware, that is also International Day, which will be at Bunning Park. Gotcha. I mentioned that because we staff that because it is an alcohol event. But that will be a busy park. I don't know that I can dedicate people to your event, other than I can have our patrol officers work extra patrol so they can kind of follow you, but they may get called away because we're going to staff the road and the international.
Oh, and that's fine. We just want to make sure that nobody gets hurt.
Sure.
Right, I just want to bring that up, that the park is historically packed. There's gonna be cars up and down that road.
Okay.
So, I don't know if that'll hinder or help your event or what you're planning on doing, but yeah, I was just gonna bring in awareness that the place is gonna be very busy on that day, that road especially. And yeah, you wouldn't be able to really culminate or bring everyone together in Bunning Park in a reasonable way, since they've already set aside that park for their.
Okay. Then tonight through this weekend, I'll look at starting it somewhere else. I'm not very familiar with Rock Springs. We've been here for 5 years, and, Rock Springs has become our home. And so we just, we want to just bring everybody together.
Depending on, the size of people and everything, there's some grass space across there, but historically, it's a very busy event, and like I said, you wouldn't have a lot of space to try to put that all together, nor, as the park is reserved for them, would we want you to try to pull that all together, unless you have a different date that you want to do it. then-
Okay. Yeah. Well, the 12th would probably work out for the best, because I got to go in for back surgery and.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so, but what we can do too is where they were protesting a couple weeks ago or last weekend, we can probably just use that strip area and just have everybody out there. I think that would probably be more beneficial than trying to get everybody at Bunning Park.
Yeah, like I said, there'll be a lot going on in that one space, so.
Yeah, I'll just get the address for that and we'll go from there.
So you're thinking over by where the chamber was?
Yeah, where the Walmart is.
Oh, okay,
So we'll just do it in that little strip area.
okay.
So that's not going to be too big of a change.
No.
And I'll call the lady tomorrow from the newspaper and let her know that we changed it.
Okay. Okay,
I do appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
thank you.
Your Honor, I just had one, I don't know if I missed it. What time, the times?
9 o'clock in the morning till about noon.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor Pro Tem and Councilman. Wow, what a long 8 weeks we've been doing things. Steve Allen, City of Rock Springs. So as we went through this long, congratulations on getting your budget approved. That's always a red letter day for any municipality or county. So when we started discussions about the Civic Center and the concerns, and we appreciate and thank the council for fully funding the operation of the Civic Center for this year and extending the closure date till 2027. Realizing we're still on a 2-year hard time frame, you guys tasked us to come up with a plan. I came up with a plan. It got shot down in flames. Those of us in the military are used to that, so not a big deal. But I want to thank the mayor because he came up with the alternate that he challenged us to raise $250,000 in the next each of the next 2 years, and that the city would match $250,000 of those each of the next 2 years. That was conveyed to me in a luncheon with the mayor and also to another individual in the city. So we appreciate that offer by the mayor and his also offer of paying for the consultant to come in and without scope and purpose, fresh eyes, look at the Civic Center top to bottom, give us a priority list of what we need to do for maintenance. We don't want to call it renovation or rebuild because we don't want to have to meet new ADA requirements, right? So we're maintaining. So we're going to get that maintenance priority list. That being said, the question to you is, who do you talk to? Who do you work with, right? You guys have come and done your part and made an offer to us. So we're now coming to you and we've done our part. Under Wyoming statute, Title 17, Chapter 19, we have now formed officially the Old Timers Civic Center public benefit nonprofit legal organization. So as a legal organization, we now have standing, which means we can sue, be sued, we can take people to court, and we can talk about things, and we can be proactive in what we do for the Civic Center. Articles of incorporation are very clear. It exists for the sole purpose of supporting the operations, maintenance, and any renovations of the Civic Center. Its dissolution process in that Articles of Incorporation is that if the group dissolves, it all goes back to the Rock Springs Civic Center. So we exist for one singular purpose. Now, that being said, that means we now have a formal legal organization to collect money, and I will be the first to give $1,000 to our new treasurer, Mike Skortz. And we have our secretary, Jack Weimer, here, and of course, I am president of the corporation. That being said, the only other thing we need at this time, because our job is to raise the money and then come to you for the matching funds. Now, I kind of need to know which budget line item to go to, because I really couldn't identify it in the budget, but that's okay. We'll wait until we get our money raised, and then we'll come back and cross that bridge. In the meantime, because we now have standing, we would like to be integrally involved with the department, JJ, to have Jack or Mike shadow with the engineer and be a big participant of that. And we'd like permission to do that. So we put that before you now. We've done our part. Now it's back to you guys to do your part. And we want to thank you for this opportunity to be able to put together this organization. And as we move forward, we'll certainly have group meetings, and we'll lay out some things in a nice website and what we're going to do to raise money. So you'll see a lot more from us over the next 30 days. We do it quicker, but Mike's got to go on vacation. So we understand how that goes. Are there questions of me or concerns? Is there any concern about allowing our group to shadow with JJ and those consultants?
JJ, can you answer that?
Your Honor, counsel, primarily, I don't know that I could voice any concerns per se on somebody understanding or being involved when they come in, based on the timeline of what I'm thinking of that these people will land. We're hoping late July, maybe mid-July, kind of depends. We're going to try to set the wheels in motion as soon as our budget turns. We have all of our requests out right now, so we're looking at hopefully doing that in late July. I would not want, I obviously need to talk to them about somebody being on site. I would not have an issue with sharing any of the information that comes in as it comes in. I don't know that I would want to talk to the group that we eventually agree or come to a contract with on whether or not they're going to have somebody in tow, especially someone that's not a city employee. But like I said, I'm not adverse to sharing information or having them, but I don't know where my comfort is with a third party person. I mean, they're there to do their exercise, but I would want to talk to them once we have some agreement or they understand what their process is, because as I understand, they'd be up here on a couple separate days, looking at different things, taking different measurements, doing their thing. So I guess my question would be, and it wouldn't necessarily need to be in this meeting, we could talk about maybe exactly what you're hoping to get, what you want, or if you're trying to, I'm not gonna try to hide or obfuscate in any way. I'll definitely be open about whatever we find and what we're telling them. But ideally, the information that they have coming in as the past stability reports that we've done, and then we're gonna have them look at costs going forward in 10 years. They're gonna relook at our stability. They're gonna relook at all of our systems, make recommendations, and that's where we're gonna, try to then move the discussion on what we're doing next. So, I guess I'd want to get some more information on your side, and then some more information for our eventual contractor on where that lands.
In Madam Mayor, that's exactly where we want to be. We want to be on the front end to have those discussions to set that scope and purpose. I just said I was promised no scope and purpose. I just heard scope and purpose. So we want to be there, if we can be a part of the interview process and selection, or the interview process to outline that scope and purpose before it's given to them, we want to be a party to that. We want to be here from day one through this process. It's our efforts to raise the money. It's going to be our efforts when you guys come back and say, okay, we agree on a priority list, and now we're working together, right, on those 1 through whatever those priorities are. We're more than open to provide any liability insurance we need for people to do the shadowing on city property. That's no problem. We can do that. If we agree that no parties, i.e. the city or our group, are going to shadow, we're just going to let the engineers, after we've had those initial discussions and all three sides have kind of agreement of what we want them to achieve out of that, and we just say, you're going to go do it, and then you're going to report back to us, we're glad with that too. But if the city's going to be with them, we feel that it's fair that we be a party to that. This is about a partnership.
Yeah.
You challenged us, and we have stood up. We want to be that partner side by side all the way along. If we're really going to solve this civic center process, there's not one step along the way that we can't be a party to and still be successful at the end of it. We've made our stand in 8 weeks. Every time I've stood up, it's been very positive, very thankful. We're going to do it professionally, and we're going to do it with respect. We're partners in this, and that's what we want to push. So, other questions?
Your Honor. So I would say, just as JJ alluded to, get a hold of him and he can probably help schedule this a little better with you than.
He's got my
schmucks
number.
up here.
Absolutely. Yep.
Would actually say, one question I have, what is the name of the nonprofit?
Old Timers Civic Center. Every check can be made out to Old Timers Civic Center.
Now, the other is, your request, I defer to mayor, and it's the first time we've heard of this in a request, and I think it's best that the mayor and council, legal counsel, be involved in a decision on what we can do and what we need to do. I don't think that's something we can do today, but it's something
I
we can bring
understand
to the
that.
mayor. And I
We're just
understand
setting the
request,
tone
but-
for what the relationship's going to look like and what we're willing to do to help you. You know, this is a partnership. That's how we see it. But we're in it for the long haul. And I think our demonstration by creating the legal entity proves how serious we really are.
Well, I do, and sorry, Your Honor. I do appreciate the work in that you've done, and that is obviously something that I do feel now that is not just going to be 8 weeks of talk and then nothing happen. So I'm kind of excited to see that there's actually a group.
You guys should know me by now. Come on. We can't thank you guys enough for your patience, your understanding, and listening that you did through this. And we know the next 2 years, we're going to prove that that needs to stand for another 100 years. We're going to make that happen, without question. Any other questions?
Your Honor? Oh,
Go ahead.
well, first I want to thank all you guys for all your efforts. You know, you guys are stuck with it and come up with some good plans, and I really appreciate all the work you put into it. The question I have is, there's 2 sections there. We got the old timers and we got the new piece. So is that old timers? Is the new piece going to be part of the old piece?
The whole shebang, the
Everybody's
whole
happy.
shebang is ours. What did I say about the Articles of Incorporation upon dissolution? It all goes, if this corporation goes defunct, the city gets every dollar we ever raised for the benefit of the Rock Springs Civic Center. We just called it the Old Timers Civic Center for name. There's a reason for that. Yeah, UP's getting a call, but that's another story.
Yeah, I just didn't know how that would affect fundraising and
Not a bit.
historical pieces. And
It's a 100% project in our mind. We're saving it all.
okay, good.
So, Your Honor, Steve, the question I have, obviously you guys have met and you guys selected board members. Are the meeting minutes available to the public or to see your process on how you guys are making these decisions?
Well, realizing that we're a private legal entity, not required, but I'm glad to make those available. That won't be a problem. Absolutely.
Okay.
But from a legal stance, just so you know, it's not like your minutes that are FOIA'd. The attorney can correct me if I'm wrong. Not to put you on the spot, only because he's not here and I like him. He's fine.
I just, like you said, in the spirit of partnership, I think that's,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Other questions?
Anybody? Okay.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you very much, and your group.
Madam President, members of the council, I'm Paula Wanacott, and I'm here on behalf of the other part of this committee that has been meeting over the last few weeks about the Civic Center. We had a meeting of interested community members like those that you saw in this chamber at multiple meetings. And we met at the college last Tuesday night. As a group, we identified areas where we were going to focus our fundraising and divide it up into subcommittees. We looked at a subcommittee on grants. We're looking at public-private partnerships or sponsorships, major gifts, gifts in kind, and grassroots fundraising efforts. And these would be small fundraising efforts, things that you would see likely in your communities that anyone could participate in and feel that they have contributed something to the cause. We were also looking at social media, media communications, branding in some way, as well as even a GoFundMe, if that would be the case. In the process of talking about what we could do and where we could, we also identified that those members that had shown up or who had signed the petition or who participated in the survey or wanted to participate in some form or fashion in any one of these subcommittee areas, that we would be sending out an email in very short order to have those people respond to us and say, how would you like to help? Where would you feel comfortable in making a contribution to this cause? And that should be going out shortly to identify that and get those contacts and get that information going. I'm very pleased to say that there have been inquiries from major donors, people that would give more than we could even possibly hope for, with the idea that they wanted to know what that structure was going to be. Stephen's kind of outlined the structure that we're looking at. But again, we're at the very beginning stages of having a major gift campaign of sorts and having branding information, maybe a website, whatever, to donate. So those things are still in process. We're starting those things. We're not taking the summer off to get those things done, but I came here tonight to tell you about the energy, the enthusiasm, people bringing their talents and their skill sets to make this a possibility for us. It was also very clear that the group of people that showed up wanted this to not only be a successful campaign for the Civic Center and the Old Timers Building, but also a proper foundation for doing it in the future for other potential projects going forward. So we want it to be a system or a function that can be sustained going into the long term for a variety of purposes. As we said, it was about our community pride. What can we do to make the community better? How can we participate? And what can we do to establish a framework to do that going forward? And we want that partnership with you, all the members of the council, all the members of the staff, all the city employees, the community, and we hope that we'll set up the framework that everybody will continue to be confident about our community and its future. So do you have any questions for me at this point?
Just a comment, I guess. It's again, it's kind of it's exciting to see people step up and do, and the community get involved. And I know there's always question. You see things happen in Casper where they've got the ranch and everything else. How do they do that? Well, it's from private funding. You know, people step up in the community, they donate, and I do think the nonprofit is a great vehicle to spark that. I think people are more willing to donate to a nonprofit, tax purposes, everything else. But when you get into like larger corporations or businesses who want to donate, so long term, it's exciting to see there's maybe some potential there to do some big things for the community.
Well, the other part of that, as you know, Rob, is Councilman Zadi. As you know, it always takes some money to make money. Donors want to know that they're not the only ones donating, and they kind of say, well, what did so-and-so give? You know, did they give? Did you ask them? And I think if we put our project together in a really comprehensive way, I think we have a good ask. We can say, this is what we want to do. This is how we want to do it. The end game will be executing that plan the way we said we were going to. And if we do that, then the next time we go to ask, they'll go, you did well the last time. I will support you this next time. And so it's establishing that relationship not only with this group and the city of Rock Springs, but with the community as a whole and with donors. And we establish that rapport, then we will have a sustainable philanthropy in our community that we haven't really been able to do quite as well as some other communities in the state. But we have to start looking at this because we need to look at that pie of funding and we need to expand it so that we can do the kinds of things we want to do regardless of where we are in our economics. Whether we're boom or bust, we always say that, well, we won't waste the next one. But we need to not waste this opportunity with our community right now because it's out there and they are willing to step up to the cause if they believe in it and they know that we're going to be successful. That's absolutely key.
No, success breeds success. So.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Any other questions for me?
Your Honor, thanks, Paula, for being here. And thank you for taking it seriously when I stated when we made that decision that the 2 years is going to go fast. Because you think 2 years, oh, wow. But, just like a blink of an eye, we're going to be facing the situation again. So thank you for being proactive and doing that. And any help I can be, just feel free to reach out. Thanks.
Well, we will keep you in communication however is best for you. We would look forward to having your input as we go along. What you know, who you know is always good. Contacts are very important. So keep us in mind if you have some ideas. Let me know, let us know, and then we can incorporate those in our overall plan because it's got to be energetic, it's got to be enthusiastic, and it's got to be a commitment on all of our parts to make this work. So I think we've got a good team going. I think we can do some really good stuff, not only for the Civic Center, but for the community as a whole.
The town, yeah.
Awesome.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Paula. Anybody else? Well, we'll close petitions and we'll go on to bills and claims. Bills and claims for June 17th, 2025. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved, Your Honor.
Thank you, Hickerson. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Zadi. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
Any abstaining?
I will be abstaining.
Abstaining.
Okay. Okay, now we'll move on to salaries for June 6th, 2025. Can I get a motion?
So moved, Your Honor.
Thank you, Hickerson. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Hanson. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining?
Abstaining.
Abstaining.
Okay, that'll move us on to new business. We have a request from the police department for permission to apply for the Law Enforcement Mental Health and Wellness Act Program Grant. Can I get a motion, please?
Your Honor, I move to approve this request.
Thank you, Counselor Hanson. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Petrie. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, our next request is from Kayla Manico for 2 malt beverage permits for International Days on July 11th from 5 to 9 p.m. and July 12th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. at Bunnings Park. Can I get a motion, please?
Your Honor, I move to approve this request.
Thank you, Counselor Thompson. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Hickerson. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining?
I'm going to abstain as my wife is on the board and one of the members who helps put this event together.
Okay, thank you, Counselor Zadi. Okay, our next one is request from Sean Page for permission to have alcohol in Veterans Park for the Carter family reunion on July 3rd from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m., July 4th and 5th from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., and July 6th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Can I get a,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
can I get a motion?
Your Honor, I'll move to approve the request.
Thank you, Counselor Bingham. Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Petrie. Any discussion?
Sounds like it's going to be a fun week.
Yeah, I think we should all go, Paul. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, then that brings us to our resolutions. Our first one is Resolution 2025-78.
A resolution authorizing and directing Max Mickelson and acting in his capacity as chairman of the Housing Board to discharge uncollectible debts for the Rock Springs Housing Authority's project number WY003.
Okay, can I get a motion, please?
Your Honor,
Counselor Hickerson?
I move to approve resolution 2025-78.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Zadi. Any discussion?
Your Honor, do we have a total on that? Total amount?
Your Honor, Counselor Malonis, it's about $44,000.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstaining?
Abstaining.
Abstaining.
Okay, thank you, Petrie and Counselor Thompson. Okay, our next one is Resolution 2025-79.
A resolution accepting and approving a contract between the State of Wyoming Office of the Attorney General, Division of Criminal Investigation, and the Rock Springs Police Department for the high-intensity drug trafficking areas task force officers, and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and Bill Ersbaumer as chief of police of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, to execute said contract on behalf of said city.
Okay, could I get a motion, please?
Your Honor, I move to approve Resolution 2025-79.
Okay, thank you, Counselor Thompson. Could I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Hickerson. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, this brings us to Resolution 2025-80.
A resolution authorizing and directing Max Mickelson as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, to accept and approve a budget revision to the budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025.
Okay, can I get a motion, please?
I'll move to approve Resolution 2025-80, and Matt, thank you for your explanation about what we're doing here earlier today.
Thank you, Counselor Zadi. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, that brings us to Resolution 2025-81.
A resolution accepting and approving a revised City of Rock Springs schedule of fees.
Okay, can I get a motion, please?
Your Honor, I
Counsel-
move to approve Resolution 2025-81.
Okay, thank you, Counselor Hanson. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Bingham. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, that brings us to council updates. Does anyone have any information they'd like to share with us?
Your Honor.
Go ahead, Counselor.
Last week, you and I and Matt and the mayor went to the WHAM conference in Cheyenne. It was
Busy.
busy, a lot of information jammed into 2.5 days. The highlight was the dinner we went to, and then we got to go out to the governor's mansion for a meet and greet out there.
Yep.
The other thing, Saturday was I was down there with former Councilman Robinson, judging cars for the Rods and Rails for the Boys and Girls Club. It was a smaller showing than normal, but there was all kinds of things happening on Saturday. Talked to people that we told them, yeah, anybody that says there's nothing to do in Rock Springs, you're not looking hard enough, because it was busy. We had international days, all kinds of things going on that day. So,
Brews and Blues.
and the Brews and Blues.
I volunteered at the Blues and Brews.
You were there.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, anybody else want to share anything?
Your Honor, likewise, the events complex has high dollar RVs as far as you can see right now. Every space is taken out there, so a lot of action going on throughout town, and it's really neat to just go out there and take a look at what they have going on.
Okay. Anything else anyone would like to share with us? Okay.
Your Honor, real quick. The air show's going on, and I noticed Devin is still looking for volunteers.
They canceled tomorrow's because I volunteered.
Oh,
for-
really? Okay.
Yeah, because of the weather. So
Oh.
it'll be Thursday and Friday.
But there's still activities, if anybody
Yeah.
wants something
Yeah.
to do, to go check
Yeah,
out them.
it'll be
those
there
plans
Thursday and Friday.
if you want to volunteer, so.
Yeah, anyone that wants to volunteer. He's needing help out there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, everyone.